The Wondjina petroglyphs of the Kimberley region in Western Australia stand as profound representations of Aboriginal spirituality, cultural heritage and artistic expression. Depicted with large halo-like heads, these figures are central to the mythologies of the Worora, Nungarinyan and Wunambal tribes. Through a comparative analysis with similar depictions in other ancient cultures, we seek to elucidate the possible symbolism embedded within the Wondjina petroglyphs. The Wanjina figures, painted in rock shelters and caves, are characterized by their distinct large heads, round eyes, and absence of mouths. These figures are revered as ancestral spirits and rainmakers, holding the power to bring rain and ensure the fertility of the land. The ongoing maintenance of these petroglyphs by Aboriginal custodians underscores their enduring cultural and spiritual significance. In ancient Egypt, depictions of pharaohs and gods often included enlarged heads and elaborate headdresses, signifying their divine authority and spiritual power. The detailed and realistic features of these figures underscored their human divine nature. Similarly, the Wanjina's large heads emphasize their significance and power, albeit in a more abstract form. Both cultures utilize the enlarged head as a symbol of higher status and connection to the divine, though the Wanjina's abstract representation aligns more closely with their spiritual essence rather than a physical likeness. The Olmec civilization of Mesoamerica is renowned for its colossal stone heads, which are thought to represent rulers or deified individuals. These heads, with their realistic and individualized features, symbolize power and possibly divinity. The Wondjina figures, while also signifying power and ancestral importance, diverge in their abstract and uniform representation. This abstraction in Wondjina art could indicate a more spiritual and collective aspect of their power, focusing on their role in the natural world rather than individual identity. The Moai statues of Easter Island, with their oversized heads, represent ancestral figures imbued with spiritual authority. These statues are believed to protect and watch over the island's inhabitants. The Wondjina figures share this protective and ancestral role, symbolizing their ability to influence the environment and safeguard their communities. Both cultures use enlarged heads to signify spiritual guardianship, yet the Wondjina's lack of mouths and the inclusion of large eyes highlight their thought-based power and perpetual vigilance over the land. Sumerian worshipper statues, with disproportionately large heads and eyes, emphasize devotion and a direct connection to the gods. The Wanjina's large eyes can be seen as a parallel, representing their eternal watchfulness and spiritual presence. The absence of mouths in Wondjina figures contrasts with the Sumerian focus on vigilance, perhaps indicating a different form of spiritual communication and influence, one based on thought and presence rather than verbal articulation. Early Greek statues, such as the Kouros and Kor, occasionally depicted figures with larger heads to emphasize intellectual and spiritual aspects. As Greek art evolved towards naturalism, the emphasis on head size diminished. The Wondjina figures, however, maintained their abstract and spiritual representation, consistently using the enlarged head to symbolize their enduring spiritual and environmental influence. Through this comparative lens, several symbolic elements of the Wondjina petroglyphs become apparent: spiritual authority. The enlarged heads of the Wondjina, akin to those in other cultures, symbolize their significant spiritual authority and connection to the divine. They are revered as creator beings with the power to influence the natural world, particularly through rainmaking. Ancestral presence, like the Moai statues of Easter Island and the Olmec heads, the Wondjina figures represent ancestral spirits. Their presence in rock shelters and caves signifies a protective and guiding force for the Aboriginal communities. Abstract representation. The Wondjina's abstract features, such as the large eyes and absence of mouths, highlight their spiritual essence and thought-based power. This abstraction differentiates them from the more realistic depictions in other cultures, emphasizing their unique form of spiritual communication and influence. Environmental connection. The Wanjina's role as rainmakers underscores their integral connection to the environment. Their depiction with large heads may also symbolize their overarching influence on the land and its fertility. The Wondjina Petroglyphs, with their distinct artistic style and profound symbolism, offer a unique window into the spiritual and cultural world of the Aboriginal peoples of the Kimberley region. By comparing these figures with similar depictions in other ancient cultures, we gain a deeper understanding of the universal themes of spiritual authority, ancestral presence, and environmental connection. The Wanjina figures stand as a testament to the enduring power and significance of Aboriginal cultural heritage, embodying a rich tradition that continues to influence and inspire.